Hello, and welcome to another episode of Ask an Assistant, the podcast for executive assistants and the people that love us. I'm your host, Jess Lindgren. Let's get to work. There is no question in this episode because it is the April 2026 Interoffice Memo. Thing the first, the news is wild, and I have personally been largely checked out of social media for the last, let's say, week or two. So I'm not riding the highs and lows of dopamine rushes and crashes quite as hard as I have been for quite some time. The horrors persist, and so do many of us. As always, I refuse to accept that I am taking a radical stance by saying, please stop killing children and please stop killing other grownups. We must, and I firmly believe that we as a species can do better. Moving right along to thing the second, it is Administrative Professionals Day tomorrow at the time of recording and release. If you are an executive listening who has no idea what to do for their administrative professional to mark the occasion, or you might be an executive assistant with a last minute assignment to mark the day for yourself and or your team, have I got ideas for you. First off, make sure that you're talking with your legal and or financial professionals to make sure that you are on the up and up while you're making these decisions. Right at the top, though, cash is king. Give your admin folks an off-cycle raise if you can, or an envelope full of cash. Why not? Gift cards or a lunch budget is a totally smooth way to go, especially if you have a distributed team. A lot of bigger companies might have corporate DoorDash or Uber Eats or what have you accounts. Like, give your administrative professional budget for a nice lunch. Do you have a whole team? Like, you can set up a group lunch reservation where the executive assistants don't have to do anything other than show up and get to have a glass of wine with their lunch. Make it easy. They get to take a lift home and the afternoon off. If lunch isn't in the cards, you might be able to consider an approved expense per person of however many dollars you can afford for nice office supplies. You could replace the spooky break room fridge. And that's not just for your administrative professionals. Like, that could be more of an overall employee appreciation day, the fridge. But if you have, like an admin team, if there's something like the copier, oh my gosh, the copier. I had the nicest bells and whistles, fanciest, was serviced every month with unlimited laser printing. So luxurious, so wonderful. Like, splash out on something that your administrative professional team uses all the time. Maybe if it's, nice office supplies, each person gets a notebook and set of pens of their choice. Training opportunities are another really wonderful option, like the one that I am speaking at tomorrow, which you can find out more about at leaderassistantlive.com. You could get your administrative folks a ticket to a future administrative professionals conference or enrollment in a course that would bring new skills to the folks that are performing this work. Things that might be beneficial include, and certainly are not limited to, there's all kinds of training opportunities out there. You could enroll your administrative professional into a program with an executive assistant coach. A lot of times executive assistant work is very lonely. We are part of the C-suite, but not always seen and believed to be part of the C-suite. And that can be a very challenging position. So, like, for me personally, I'm one of 2 employees at a company. I don't have a department of folks to support me. Like, having like-minded folks who are in the same role who get it, like, that's invaluable. Joining an administrative professionals community, having a coach, totally wonderful ways to further your executive assistant's professional development. If you are the executive assistant looking for an idea other than chocolate and flowers to mark the day, continuing education, absolutely the best. There's also things you could do like remote college courses if you're interested in graphic design, if you're interested in accounting. A lot of things are very beneficial to your overall education. Like people that are executive assistants are Jacks and or Jills of all trades rather. So getting a little bit of education in another realm can only serve you and your company and therefore your executive. Like there's just so many ways that the day could be marked. And I'm really very thrilled and encouraged to see people leaning more into continuing education and career development over things like chocolates and flowers. So again, speak with your financial and legal professionals. Make sure that you're doing things by the book. Also, if you're the executive listening, you do make an order of magnitude more than your administrative professionals do. Consider making a personal gift of any and or all of the aforementioned ideas from your own pocket if the company can't carry the expense. Like if it's not, you can't write off like an Xbox and 3 games, like buy your executive assistant a nice little Xbox and some games if that's what they're into. I've heard lots of stories of folks receiving very nice handbags from their executives. Think about that. I do have an episode, I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but I will link it in the show notes about bags for the executive assistant on the go. Winding down to thing the third, I recently helped someone very near and dear to me through a period of crisis, and that was alongside still living my own daily life and working my day job. And I will be honest with you, I am still kind of coming down off of all that stress. I've been working really hard to remember that I can only control my actions and cannot control the actions of anyone else, including the person who was in said crisis, which I hope is also a helpful reminder to all of us in our roles as executive assistants. You can prepare for absolutely everything and anything. And once your work is released out into the world, you can't control what anyone else does with it, including your executive. Which runs us right into the conclusion of this month's Interoffice Memo. Please, however and whenever you can, focus on your own happiness, health, and hydration. Drink that water, use that lotion. Nobody can pour from an empty cup, and people like us who have servant hearts and minds often give every last scrap of what we have. I'm begging you, and this reminder's for myself too, as much as any of you, take a break, take a breath, fill your cup, and come back better equipped to keep helping. As always, please leave your comments, questions, thoughts, and concerns for me at askanassistant.com. I don't have a show without you. Thank you so much for listening, and until next week, take care.